Drought remains one of the biggest challenges facing agriculture, forcing farmers to find new ways to make every drop of water count. Next into the nest is a venture whose idea was born from those harsh realities.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. If you can just introduce yourselves and then give us your pitch.
Okay, so looking back at the past 2 years, most farmers failed to attain a yield of five tons per hectare for our maize. And also for our horticulture, we can't even begin to speak about it because it was a survival of the fittest because of the weather-induced drought patterns, which were because of the El Nino, right? So we have come about with this VerdiSol Agro plant reserves that works with the soil. So you incorporate it into your soil and then it's activated by irrigating. When you irrigate it or when rainwater falls on it, it activates, it sucks in water and then it starts releasing depending on the demand of the plant. So thereby we're going to reduce your irrigation frequencies, and those that do not have a constant supply of water do not have to worry about water.
We have our manufacturer, which is a separate manufacturer, and our cost per kg is $3 per kg, and we sell it for $5.50 per kg. So on running on full capacity per month, when it comes to production, we produce something to 300 to 400 kgs per day. So our packages are mostly 25 kg pockets that we sell at a price of $137.50 US, because our selling price is $5.50 per kg. So when we do the calculations, our operating cost is something around $75, and the profit when we sell it for $137.50, we get $62.50. So we are pitching this product mainly to find opportunities on a global scale. We are just starting. Most of our services as a company, it's just land use planning, it's just soil analysis, soil mapping, land use planning as well. So we need to introduce this product into the market and advertise it on a global scale. That's why we are trying to pitch it to you guys so that you help us with that opportunity.
As climate pressures continue to reshape agriculture, these entrepreneurs believe they have developed a solution to one of the sector's most pressing challenges. Through a water-holding polymer designed to improve soil moisture retention, they hope to help farmers make better use of every drop of water.
Okay, so what do I do here? I just pour it into this cup and add water.
Yes. Make sure that the water is in ratio to the product that you have applied in the cup.
So when I put this in my soil, I'm going to mix it like this beforehand?
You put it in the soil, you incorporate,
and then
you irrigate.
Anything I think that can help with irrigation is very significant. I farm tobacco and I farm wheat. Both of those are very highly irrigated. So if there was something that could help me to reduce on irrigation costs, that would be a very worthwhile investment for me, if it's actually as effective as you say it is.
So can you run us through what we're seeing here? So it's absorbed all the water?
Now it's absorbed the water. So let's say there's a plant there. It's now working through osmosis and capillary action. So if the plant now says, I want water, it starts releasing. So it works through osmosis.
And because it swells, it's also creating pockets of air.
Yes.
It's more like ice in a way.
And it's not just the water, but any water-soluble nutrients as well.
Yes. If you apply your foliar fertilizers, it's going to hold on to it and make sure it's available to plant before we start going into the soil and the cation exchange capacity.
Very interesting. I like the idea. I wanted to know, is it manufactured by yourselves or are you buying it?
Yes, we are the manufacturer. We've got a sister company that's on the ground right now that helps us with the manufacturing and the scientific aspect. We deal with farmers directly and we know the recommendation because our background of the company is we're mainly agro-based and we're a consultancy service. So we are the ones that relate to the farmer and know what the farmer needs and the quantity that they need. And also depending on the region and also the crop that they're growing.
Can you give us some insights as to what this material is that absorbs water and holds it?
It's a biodegradable polymer.
Manufactured locally?
Yes,
and
locally.
And the polymer you get from?
Locally developed.
How much do you need in a hectare?
50 kg to 75, depending on the soil, whether it's sand, clay, loamy. So we have to do an assessment first, and then we recommend.
So it's about $270 or $280 for a hectare.
Yes.
It's an idea that has certainly captured the judges' attention, particularly given their own experience as farmers and agribusiness leaders. Karen is keen to know how many other players are already swimming in this pond.
Interesting. So is this innovation something that's already available in other countries? Who are your competitors with similar product offerings?
We have seen this company that deals with the hydrogel, but this one comes now as a polymer. It's different from hydrogel because in hydrogel it just reserves water and doesn't promote nutrients, doesn't promote aeration in the soil. So right now I think we are one of the few companies which are producing this product. So
in the region, on the continent?
In the country so far.
Okay, but I'm trying to get your understanding of your competition beyond Zimbabwe. Because if we're going to set you up to be exporters, then you need to know who your competitors are outside Zimbabwe.
Outside Zimbabwe, we've got China.
Okay.
We've got China, they have that.
Okay.
Yes. Those are the only few that we have noticed so far.
That you've known or come across at
Yes,
the
come
moment.
across so far.
So how will you compete with the Chinese products? If you're going to export,
Yes.
and the markets you want to export into also have the option to get the Chinese product, how will you compete? Why would they choose your product from Zimbabwe versus the one from China?
For now, I think maybe we can say because we offer a consultancy base too, that's also our advantage. Because before we recommend the product to you, we are saying we are coming to the ground, we know your soils, we worked with your soils for a long time, and we're saying that before we're going to do a land use plan for your land and how you're going to do your projects and how you're going to go about it. And we also do your soil mapping. We come to your field, we mark point blocks. Usually it's 5 hectares per block. We divide your blocks into 5 hectares, and then we recommend based on that. So we're saying that we are consultancy based, and then we recommend the product to you. We know your soil is better.
The entrepreneurs defend their unique selling proposition, arguing that their consulting services give them direct access to farmers and place them in a strong position to recommend the product. However, Crystal has another concern.
It's a wonderful idea for this, for the fact that we do have a drought problem in Zimbabwe, a very, very significant one that is essentially wiping out a lot of our farmers. There's a lot of people who, especially in the droughts of the last few years, 2022 and 2023, just stopped farming after that because of the significant losses that they faced. So I think solutions that are trying to address drought are very, very welcome in our agricultural sector. So I really commend you for that. I'm worried about the cost of this innovation. An extra 280 per hectare is quite significant, even for large-scale farmers when you're looking at your budgets and the profit margin that you're trying to hit in order to pay back investors and all of that. It is quite significant. So I think that's the only thing that's really keeping me on the fence with this.
Could you, in basic terms, quantify the advantages of using this polymer in the soil?
The advantage of using this polymer in the soil is mainly that you reduce your irrigation frequency. That means your cost on energy are reduced. And then you're also going to reduce maybe the labor, saying that someone is coming in every day to irrigate. You know that your polymer is active. So that's the main advantage, and you don't have to worry about drought because our main solution was influenced by drought because many farmers failed to go through the winter season, which is the main horticultural growing season.
And can you quantify the difference in irrigation?
Yes. For now, I've got maize on top of my head. For maize, you require 25 to 30 millimeters of water per week, right? And if you're using our product, that means you're going to reduce your evapotranspiration rate. It's going to be reduced. That means you're going to maybe say about 15 to 17 millimeters a week.
Can you run us a little bit more into detail of the product itself? How much water does it absorb? Is it removing any excess moisture?
Okay, what happens per month? let's say 1 kg, you incorporate 1 kg. How you're going to incorporate it is during the planting session, your land preparation, you incorporate it into the land, right? And then for 1 kg per month, you're looking at around 200 to 300 tons of water that's going to be absorbed by the product. So as the product swells up, it's going to create air spaces. When you create air spaces, we're creating an aeration zone for the microorganisms to remain active.
If I apply this to the soil once, does it remain in there for several seasons, or how does it work?
It will be in the soil for 1 year.
So in two plantings?
Yes, 2 plantings essentially.
And then what happens? It disintegrates?
Yes, because it's biodegradable.
Have you done a pesticide residue test to see if there's anything coming out of here that's untoward?
No, for residual effects, no, but because of it's biodegradable, because now we're running a pilot project in the region 4. So we want to see how that comes about. We're almost done because we're left with about 4 months to now conclude that we can now go on commercial scales.
So from my aspect, as the grower selling an end product, I carry the weight of the entire, operation process, value chain, but even what happens before I put this into my soil. And I want to just make sure that, there isn't anything that's untoward that is in here. Because, maybe it's just the smell, but it smells quite chemical. So just from, it's obviously the polymer that's there, but I don't know if anything else is, being let loose or coming into the soil.
No, nothing is coming into the soil.
Have you done any soil tests as part of your pilots, like testing the soil before, during, after?
Yes, all that has been done.
And all that data is available?
Yes.
What are the results?
For now, we're waiting for the 4-month period so that we are complete with the 1 year.
But so far with the 8 months, if there's 4 more months, has there been a trend of improved soil health? There must be some sort of trends that you're starting to see in the
Yes, most soils, especially clay soils, tend to be now friable instead of them sticking because of those air pockets that have been created. So clay soils now, they're now, maybe you can say, workable with because they're turning into friable, because there's a point where we waited for the soils to completely dry so that we see how it's the effectiveness. Because that part we were working with clay soil because our plots are marginalized into 250, 250, 250, 250. And then next to it, there's a control project next to it to see what's going on, where we've got normal conditions, and then where our product is.
So it's more like a comparison between the two. When you look at the field, you're looking at the normal, and then you look where we've applied that polymer to see the results.
So if there's extended heat stress or periods of extended dry conditions, will they still remain intact, or they'll start to disintegrate if they are?
As long as they have absorbed enough water and they start releasing it to the point of them getting back to the powder that they were at.
I guess my question is, if they don't absorb enough water for whatever reason after application,
that would be a faulty product.
How soon after the planting do you have to irrigate it?
You have to wait 3 days.
Oh, you have to wait 3 days?
Yes. So that it just activates and it absorbs and then starts releasing, and then you start planting.
So it's minimum 3 days?
Yes.
So if they plant it and it doesn't rain for 2 weeks, it'll still work?
You can just leave it in the soil.
You can just leave it in the soil.
Just leave it
Okay.
there. Yes.
Okay.
The moment it starts raining, the moment it receives water, it starts absorbing.
Yes.
Okay, and then you were saying it works via osmosis with the capillary system of the plant, whatever crop it is?
Yes. Usually it depends with the rooting system. We've got fibrous, we've got taproots. Most taproots, they consume a lot of water. And then fibrous, they consume less water. It just depends with the type of crop.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. So the crops that it's most successful with are
Horticultural
crops.
Yes.
So it won't be as successful with cereal crops.
Usually now for our TS projects, we're working with horticultural projects because it was in region 4.
Okay. And the horticultural products, which ones exactly?
We've got your cabbage, you've got your green pepper, you've got your tomato. Tomato is a water loving, so we wanted to try that. We were very anxious to try that one out.
Yeah, makes sense.
With a panel this diverse in expertise, discussions can quickly move beyond the basics and into the finer details of the business. It's often in these technical exchanges that the biggest strengths and weaknesses are revealed. The judges appear to have heard enough. It's time for a verdict.
I'm a big fan of this idea. I think for certain types of farming where the crops are in the ground for a lot longer, for instance in flower farming or rose farming, they're in the ground for up to 10 years. Obviously reworking the soil is a bit of a problem because you're going to damage and you can't reintroduce that. So certain crops fall off, but I like the idea of conserving water and that it's biodegradable. So you have a yes from me.
Okay, thank you.
On my side, I think definitely I'm very curious to see how the costings work out at a commercial level. So again, a caution is when you're pricing, I think in Zim we now are very comfortable with high margins, but those are actually sometimes abnormal in a normal market situation. So there's a fine line between getting the volumes and getting the margin, and you have to be clear who your target market is going to be for this. So if it's going to be for small scale, then I think there's a lot more interrogation into the costings and pricing that you want to put out there. But otherwise, it's a yes from me. And then I'd be keen to see the soil tests so that we've got data to support the assumptions you've given us today, including some sort of nematode community analysis, because you've also made claims about the soil microorganisms, right? So what are the changes in that nematode community within that soil? And that's some of the stuff that we are looking at very closely from a biological or sustainable agri perspective. Those are some key metrics.
Thank you.
Selfishly, I'm a tobacco and cereals person. I was the 2024 National Top Young Farmer in tobacco and in cereals. So for me, I'm always thinking about our tobacco farmers and our cereals farmers. I think you have a market there as well. I think it makes sense when you're starting a business to focus on one specific, crop or one specific market in the horticultural space. But we have huge tobacco farmers and huge cereals farmers in this country that could significantly benefit from something that would reduce their irrigation costs. So I think as you are growing, definitely try to enter into that space because you have individuals that have a lot more play in their budget that are looking for something that would help them as well. So that's just advice, but it's a yes from me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys so much.
Congratulations. We'll see you in the next round.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
The Eagle's Nest AgriChallenge, proudly brought to you by Zimtrade and the Netherlands Embassy.